Hello everyone. Today we will solve exercise 3.1 of chapter Matrices from class 12th NCERT Math. Let's begin. So the very first question that we have is in a matrix A, the matrix is given to us and we have to write the order of the matrix, the number of elements in the matrix, and we have to write the elements value A13, A1, A21, A33, A24 and A23. So how we can find the order of the matrix here? So we can count the number of rows first. So how many rows are there? You can observe there are three rows. This is first row, this is second row, and this is the third row we have. And similarly there are four columns. This is first column, this is your second column, this is third column, and this is fourth column. So there are three rows and four columns, so therefore the order is going to be 3 times 4. First of all, we have to write the number of rows followed by the number of columns. This is part 1. Then part 2, number of elements. Since there are 3 rows and 4 columns, there are going to be total 12 elements in the given matrix, right? Then third part, we have to find the values of the element A13, A21, A33, A24 and A23. So A13 means first row and third column. So first row and third column. So A13 is going to be what? It is going to be 19. Then A21 means second row and first column, which is 35. Then A33 is going to be third row and third column, which is going to be -5. Then A24 second row and fourth column, which is 12. And A23 means second row and third column, which is going to be 5/2. So this is the solution for this particular question number 1. Now we have the next question, question number 2. If a matrix has 24 elements, what are the possible orders it can have? So what are the possible orders? So we can have one row and 24 columns, right? Or we can have 2 rows and 12 columns, or we can have 3 rows and 8 columns. We can have 4 rows and 6 columns, right? Or we can have 24 rows and 1 column. We can have 12 rows and 2 columns. We can have 8 rows and 3 columns, or we can have 6 rows and 4 columns. So there are a total of 8 possible orders that can give us a total of 24 elements in the matrix. What if it has 13 elements? Then either you have 1 row and 13 columns, or 13 rows and 1 column. So these are the 2 possible orders we can have for a matrix with 13 elements. So this is the solution for question number 2. Then next question, if a matrix has 18 elements, what are the possible orders it can have? So this question is similar to the previous one. I would encourage you to pause this video and try solving this question on your own. So now let's discuss. If a matrix has 18 elements, so 1 row and 18 columns are possible, 2 rows and 9 columns are possible, 3 rows and 6 columns are possible. Then we have again 18 rows and 1 column possible, 9 rows and 2 columns are possible, and 6 rows and 3 columns are possible. So there are 6 possible orders that are possible for a matrix which has 18 elements. Similarly, if a matrix has 5 elements, then 1 row and 5 columns are possible, or 5 rows and 1 column are possible, right? So this is the solution for question number 3. So next question is question number 4, and here we have to develop a 2 by 2 matrix A where they have given us the general formula. So aij is I plus j whole square over 2, then second is I over j, and third is I plus 2j whole square over 2. So here we have to just construct a 2 by 2 matrix. In order to develop a 2 by 2 matrix, we need 4 elements: a11 element, a12 element, a21 element, and a22 element. So here for a11 element, I is 1 and j is 1. For 1 2 element, I is 1 and j is 2. For 2 1 element, I is 2 and j is 1. And for a22 element, I is 2 and j is also 2. So let's find out all the elements in all the three types of matrices. So if I solve part A, here a11 is going to be what? 1 plus 1 whole square over 2, which is going to give us 4 over 2 or just 2, right? Then second element is going to be, let me just write second element, which is a12. Here I is 1 and j is 2, so it is going to be 1 plus 2 whole square over 2, which is 9 over 2. Then we have a21 element. So I is 2 and j is 1. So 3 square, which is 9, 9 over 2 again. And then a22. A22 is what? I is 1 and j is 1. So that is 2 plus 2, 4. 4 whole square, that is 16. 16 divided by 2, that is 8. So this is part 1. So what is going to be the matrix? If I have to write the first matrix, so a11, a12, a21 and a22, all 4 elements I have. So matrix is going to be 2, 9 by 2, 9 by 2 and 8. So this is going to be the matrix from first general formula, right? Then let's solve the second part of this question. So I over j, that is the general formula. So a11 is going to be just 1, a12 is going to be 1 over 2, a21 is going to be 2 over 1 or just 2, and a22 is going to be again 1. So what is going to be the matrix here? So that is 1, 1 by 2, 2 and 1, right? And then the third part of this question. So what is going to be a11? Here 1 plus 2j, I plus 2j whole square, that is going to be 1 plus 2 whole square over 2, which is nothing but what? 3 square, which is 9, 9 over 2 is going to be the first element. Then a12, which is 1 plus 4 over 2, and 1 plus 4 whole square over 2 basically. So it is going to be 25 over 2. Then we have the next element a21. So here it is going to be 2 plus 2 whole square over 2, which is going to be 16 over 2, and or you can say 8. And then a22, which is 2 plus 4 whole square over 2, which is nothing but 36 over 2 or 18, right? Because 6 square is 36, over 2 is 18. So what is going to be the matrix here? Okay, so let me use another color ink. So the matrix elements are going to be 9 by 2, 25 over 2, 8 and 18, right? Aesthetically, let's change the color of these elements also. This is going to be 1, 1 by 2, this is 2, and this is 1. Now it's looking good, right? So that is the solution for question number 4. Let's proceed to next question. So this is question number 5. We have to construct a 3 by 4 matrix and the general formulas are given. So this is a similar question to 4. So I would encourage you guys to just pause this video and start solving this question. Alright, so let's begin. So again, in order to develop a 3 by 4 matrix, we need elements such as A11, A12, A13 and A14, right? So let me just write the fourth element A14 because it has 3 rows and 4 columns. Then we need A21 element, A22 element, A23 element and A24 element, and then finally we need A31 element, 32 element, 33 element and 34 element, right? Because this matrix has 3 rows and 4 columns, right? So let's start finding out these elements. A11 would be what? I is 1 and j is 1, so it's going to be half of mod of negative 3 plus 1, that is mod of negative 2. Mod of negative 2 is just 2, so 2 over 2 is going to be 1. And then A12 element, so half of negative 3 plus 2, which is negative 1. Mod of negative 1, mod of negative 1 is just 1, so it's going to be 1 by 2. Then A13, which is half of negative 3 plus 3, right, which is nothing but 0. And then we have A14 element, so it's going to be half of negative 3 plus 4, right, which is mod of 1, so just 1 by 2. So these are the 4 elements in the first row. Similarly, we can find the next 4 elements. So A21 is going to be, so here I is 2 and j is 1, so half of negative 6 plus 1, which is going to be mod of negative 5, which is just 5 over 2. Then A22, I is 2 and j is also 2, so 1 half mod of negative 6 plus 2, which is 4 by 2 or just 2. Then A23, which is half of mod of negative 6 plus 3, which is nothing but 3 by 2. And then A24, which is half of negative 6 plus 4, which is nothing but 1, right? So these are the elements of row 2, and then we can find the elements in row 3. So A31 is going to be what? I is 3 and j is 1, so half of negative 9 plus 1, which is mod of negative 8 over 2, which is 4. Then A32, so half of negative 9 plus 2, which is 7 by 2. Then A33 is half of negative 9 plus 3, which is 6 by 2 or simply 3. And then A34, which is half of negative 9 plus 4, which is just 5 by 2. So these are the elements in row 3. Now let's write down the final matrix. So what are going to be the elements? So first element A11, which is 1, then we have 1 by 2, then we have 0, then we have 1 by 2, then we have 5 by 2, 2, 3 by 2, 1, 4, 7 by 2, 3 and 5 by 2. So this is our 3 by 4 matrix, right? This is part 1. Now part 2, which is Aij equals to 2i minus j. So Aij 2ij equals to 2I minus j. This is the second part. Again, we have to construct a 3 by 4 matrix. So let's do it. So one element is going to be what? 2 minus 1, which is just 1. Two element is going to be 2 minus 2, which is 0. Three element is going to be 2 minus 3, which is negative 1. Four element is going to be 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. So these are the elements in the row 1. Then row 2, A21, I is 2 and j is 1. So it's going to be 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Then A22, it's 4 minus 2, which is 2. A23, which is 4 minus 3, which is 1. And A24, which is 4 minus 4, which is equal to 0. And then finally we have the third row. So I is 3 and j is 1 here. So it's going to be 6 minus 1, which is 5. Then A32 is 6 minus 2, which is 4. Then A33, it is going to be 6 minus 3, which is 3. And A34, it is going to be 6 minus 4, which is 2. So these are the elements, and now let's write down the final matrix. So the elements are going to be 1, 0, negative 1 and negative 2. Then 3, 2, 1 and 0. And then 5, 4, 3 and 2. So these are going to be the elements, and this is our 3 by 4 matrix. That's it. That is the solution for question number 5. So here we have question number 6, and we have to find the values of x, y and z from the following equation. So these two matrices are equal, which means corresponding elements would be equal. So from part 1 I can say that y is nothing but equal to 4, z is going to be equal to 3, and x is going to be equal to 1 here. These are the values for x, y and z for part 1, right? Then we have part 2. So in part 2, corresponding elements would be x plus y and 6. So I can say x plus y is going to be equal to 6, right? And then 5 plus z is equal to 5 only, which means z is nothing but equal to 0, right? And then xy is going to be equal to 8. Xy is going to be 8, right? So now we can use this equation and this equation to get the values of x and y. So I can write y is 8 over x, right? And I can substitute this value in first equation. So that would give me what? It is going to be x plus 8 over x equals to 6, right? And which would be what? X square plus 8 over x equals to 6. So x square plus 8 equals to 6x, right? Which is x square minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. So this is going to be my quadratic equation. Now we need to solve this to find the value of x, right? So we can do middle term splitting here, and that is going to give me x square minus 4x minus 2x plus 8 equals to 0. So I can say x minus 4 minus 2 x minus 4 equals to 0. So x minus 2 x minus 4 equals to 0. So x is going to be equal to 2 and x is going to be equal to 4. So we have two different values of x, and corresponding to that we will have two different values of y as well. Why? Because y is dependent on x, right? So what are the different values of y we are going to have? So when x is 2, y is going to be 8 over 2, which is 4. and when x is 4, y is going to be equal to 2, right? So for the second matrix, we have these are the values. Z is 0, right? And x could be 2, x could be 4, and when x is 2, y is going to be 4, and when x is 4, y is going to be equal to 2, right? And then we have the third part, x plus y plus z equals to 9. So let's erase this and find the solution, the values of x, y and z for the third part. It is a similar question as part 1 and 2, so I would encourage you guys to do it on your own. Pause this video and do it. Alright, now I'm discussing it. So third part, corresponding elements has to be equal. So x plus y plus z is going to be 9 and x plus z is going to be 5. So I can use this in the first equation. So it is going to be what? Y plus 5 equals to 9. So y is going to be equal to 4, right? This is the value of y. And then I have y plus z is 7, right? So I can substitute it again in the first equation. So I can write x plus 7 equals to 9, which means x is going to be equal to 2. So I got the values of x and y. So what is going to be z now? So x plus z is 5, x is 2. So I can use this here. X is 2, z is going to be z only, and that is 5. So z is going to be equal to 3. So these are the three values of x, y and z. Like x is 2, y is 4 and z is equal to 3. Using these three equations, x plus y plus z is 9, x plus z is 5 and y plus z is 7. So that's it in the solution of question number 6. Let's proceed to next question. In question number 7, we have to find the values of A, B, C and D when the two matrices are equal. So when the two matrices are equal, the corresponding elements must be equal, right? So I can say that A minus B has to be equal to -1, 2A plus C has to be equal to 5, 2A minus B is equal to 0, and 3C plus D is equal to 13. So let's make some equations. A minus B equals to -1, 2A plus C is equal to 5, right? And then we have 2A minus B equals to 0 and 3C plus D equals to 13. So let's use these two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 3. Let's use equation number 1 and equation number 3 to find the value of A. So A minus B is equal to -1 and 2A minus B equals to 0. So we can use elimination method here. What if I just simply subtract equation number 3 from equation number 1? So A minus 2A is going to give me -A, negative B, negative B. So negative B plus B is going to be 0, right? And then -1, -0, it's -1 only. So negative A is equal to -1. So A is going to be equal to 1. And then I can use this value of A to find the value of B from using equation number 3. So equation number 3 was 2A minus B equals to 0. A is 1. So 2 times 1 minus B is 0. So B is going to be equal to 2. So this is going to be the value of B. And then I can use the same value of A to find C value of C using equation 2. So 2 times 1 plus C equals to 5. So C is going to be equal to 3. So these are the values of A, B and C. A is 1, B is 2 and C is 3. Right? Okay, we have to find the value of D as well. So I can substitute this value of C here in equation number 4. So 3 times 3 plus D equals to 13. So D is going to be 13 minus 9, which is going to be 4. So this is going to be the value of D. So we got all the four values A, B, C and D. So that is the solution for question number 7. Let's proceed to next question. So it's a MCQ based question, multiple choice based question, very frequently appearing in CBSE. So a matrix A is a square matrix. The matrix order is given as M times N. So it will be a square matrix when M is less than N, M is greater than N, M is equal to N, or none of these. So we know that for a square matrix, the number of rows and number of columns must be equal. So the correct answer is C. Let's proceed to next question. Now we have question number 9. We have to find the values of x and y that make the following pair of matrices equal. So any pair of matrices would be equal when their orders are equal. This is the first condition. So both the matrices are of the order 2 by 2. So first condition is satisfied here. If I talk about the second condition is corresponding elements must be equal. What do I mean by corresponding elements? So 3x plus 7, which is A11 element, must be equal to A11 element of the other matrix. So 3x plus 7 must be equal to 0. 5 must be equal to y minus 2. Y plus 1, which is A21 element, must be equal to 8. And 2 minus 3x, which is A22 element, must be equal to 4. So corresponding elements must be equal. So if I need to find the values of x and y to make these pair of matrices equal, let's find out what could be the possible values. So 5 must be equal to y minus 2. So 5 must be equal to y minus 2, which means y must be equal to 7, right? Let's see if this is satisfying this condition of y plus 1 equals to 8. So y plus 1 must be equal to 8. Yes. So if y is 7, right, we are going to get y plus 1 equals to 8. So it is clear that in order to make these two matrices equal, y must be 7. So clearly we can eliminate option D here, right? Now what about the x value? So for x value, you can equate the A11 element, which is 3x plus 7, with 0. So 3x plus 7 equals to 0, which means 3x is equal to negative 7 and x is equal to negative 7 over 3, which means using this condition A11 must be equal to negative 7 over 3. Let's see if this value of x is satisfying A22 element also. So 2 minus 3x must be equal to 4, and clearly if I put x equals to negative 7 over 3, that is not going to give me a value of 4, right? So this condition of x, this value of x is not satisfying both A11 and A22 elements. So there we cannot find the value, one value of x. So neither this option nor this option is correct. So here we would mark B, not possible to find. Why? Because we are getting two different values of x based on two different elements, right? That is the solution for question number 9. Let's proceed to next question. So in this question we have to find the number of all possible matrices of order 3 by 3 in which the entry is either 0 or 1, which means the elements must be either 0 or 1. So in a 3 by 3 matrix, there are a total of 9 elements, right? And each element, each of these 9 elements can take either a value of 0 or 1, right? So what could be the possible number of matrices? So you can find it because each element could be either 0 or 1. So there are two possibilities, either it will be 0 or 1, and this is the scenario with all the 9 elements. So 2 raised to the power 9, there are 2 raised to the power 9 matrices which are possible based on this condition. So a total of 512 possible matrices could be there, right? So that is option T. That is the solution for question number 10. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you liked this video, and if you have liked this video, please do share this video with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe this channel for more such learning videos. So I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Thank you.